Dear friends, over here on the other railway we are used to high-speed trains and know how useful they can be. But when Gordon first heard of them, he began boasting about how fast he could go. He should have known better, because he only landed himself in disgrace and made the Fat Controller cross. These stories tell how hard Gordon worked to redeem himself and make the Fat Controller think again. The author.
On the other railway, there are two diesel rail cars who are actually twin sisters. Their names are Emma and Pip. They go over 125 miles per hour and arrive at the stations on time. There are nights when they stay at Sodor so they can go back on the other railway again. Everyone was impressed, except for Gordon. One day, Donald was talking to Gordon about the diesel rail cars. That made him jealous even more.
Have you seen them lately? They go on each side of the express train so they don't have to go through switches and turntables, just to get ready to where they started. And I believe they go over 125 miles per hour. That's more miles than you, Gordon. Pah! An extra locomotion and 125 miles per hour? There may be one of me, but I'm sure I can go even faster than them. I don't know about that, Gordon. You might blow your boiler off. Nonsense. My crew checks on me every morning and nothing bad happens. So I'm sure I can go past their record without any problems.
Donald knew where Gordon was going with this. He heard Gordon complain before and didn't want to hear him complain again.
Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn ya. We'll see about that.
And with that, he puffed away. The next morning, he was still bragging. His driver and fireman was checking on him, making sure that there was zero damage.
There's no problems with you this morning. We're good to go.
Good, because today is the day where I show everyone that I can go faster than the Diesel twins. Speed is nothing to me. Heck, one of my cousins went over 126 miles per hour. I'll show them how fast a steam engine can really go. Just they wait.
He arrived at the station on time. He was coupled onto the coaches and he waited for the passengers to climb on board.
Get in quickly, please. We don't want to be late.
But what Gordon did know was that the weather was freezing over nighttime, and now the tracks were covered in icy frost. The guard blew his whistle, and Gordon started to move. Except he wasn't even moving at all. His wheels were sliding on the ice, and his driver couldn't stop him.
What is going on?
Apparently, Gordon, we're stuck on ice, and I can't show off the team.
Gordon was shocked to hear the news. The coaches were too heavy to move, so there was no way Gordon could go anywhere while being coupled up. Just then, Sir Tom had walked out of his office. He could hear the squealing noise outside his window and tried to talk to Gordon.
Gordon, why does every time you try to be a show-off, bad things always happen? I'm getting pretty sick of this, and you better have a good reason for this one.
But Gordon didn't hear him. The squealing noise was too loud for him to hear anyone but his driver. His rods were aching, and his driver did everything he could to stop him, but nothing was working. After an hour and a half, he used up all his steam, and the heat pressure has gone down, so his driver was finally able to stop him. At last, Gordon's wheels came to a halt. His cheeks were as red as James's pain, and he had no more breath. When he was uncoupled from his coaches, he tried to move again, but it was no use. He couldn't move another inch. A few minutes later, Donald and Henry arrived to help. Donald couldn't help but laugh and teased him.
Well, look what we have here. If I remember correctly, Gordon tried to beat the record from the Diesel twins, except he didn't even move at all. Gosh, it's either something went wrong or he was too nervous to even try.
Gordon didn't say anything. He felt even more embarrassed. Donald took Gordon to the steamworks to get fixed, while Henry took the express without any problems. When Gordon got fixed, he slowly went to the sheds, where Donald and a few other engines were. He can hear Donald telling them about what happened, and they all laughed.
You know, high-speed engines are all very well, but Gordon better know by now that he's supposed to move his train as well. I guess he'll never learn any of his lessons already.
Gordon snorted and went to sleep while ignoring them.
A few days had passed since Gordon's event on the rails at the station, and his smoke box was feeling clogged up, so his fireman checked to see what was the matter.
Something in your tubes is causing the smoke box to clog up, but we'll just have to deal with it today, since there's nothing we can do about it right now.
Well, that's just perfect. First the frosty rails, and now this. As if my luck isn't getting worse at all. Heavens no, Henry. Sir Topham Hatt will never approve of that. He never liked it when you did.
Later that day, Gordon backed up to his express train for the day. He was nervous about the smoke box, but he kept his courage going.
At least I'm not going to slip on the rails today. But I don't think the passengers will be happy if I'm not on time.
Gordon started to run on time. He made it to Everett Station without any trouble. His fireman tried to make some fires so they could go up the hill.
I don't like this new type of coal, but it's the least we got for now. We'll use the other coal tomorrow.
But what they didn't know was that there was a couple who just got married was on the station. They were waiting for the train that goes to the airport for their honeymoon instead of steam coming out. Gordon blew smoke and it went all over the married couple. Before they could say anything, Gordon left without noticing the smoke coming out of him. When he got to the next station, the inspector was there. He had some news from Sir Topham Hatt.
Sir Topham Hatt told me to tell you that he had just had some complaints from a couple who was previously at the station is now covered in smoke because of you, and he doesn't want any more complaints today.
And he walked away. Gordon was not happy and spoke to Boko.
This is probably the worst time of my life. First the slippery rails, and now I have black smoke coming out while my tubes are blocked. What's next? It's not my fault that this new coal is dirty.
Never mind about that, Gordon. You just need to move on and be more careful. I mean, where would I be if I listened to people calling me smelly?
It's easy for you to say. The smell doesn't get on people's clothes.
After the station, Gordon tried to be more careful on his way to the sheds, but today was not his lucky day at all. Sir Topham Hatt was at every station trying to apologize for the mess. Just then, Gordon raced past by the station. Smoke covered on not just the couple again, but also Sir Topham Hatt now. When he made it to the sheds, the same inspector came to talk to him.
There's been another complaint about your smoke problem. This time is from Sir Topham Hatt. He is not happy with you, and he wants you to fix it before it gets worse.
When the inspector left, Gordon was even more cross.
Well, that's just great. I was being extra careful today. This is another worst day of my life.
Don't worry, Gordon. At least we'll use the other coal, and make sure your tubes are clean by tomorrow.
But that didn't cheer him up. He just hoped that the next few days aren't as bad as his recent events.
It has been a week since Gordon's accident with his blocked tube and covering a couple with smoke, and Gordon was still not in a bright mood. But as his break from trouble, Sir Topham Hatt was on holiday for a few days, and Gordon was less worried and less nervous. But all of that was about to change.
Have you heard the news today, Gordon? Sir Topham Hatt will be coming back from his holiday tomorrow, so you better not screw up big time once again.
Gordon grunted. He wasn't
excited to see Sir Topham Hatt coming back one bit, but he tried his best to stay positive.
I must run my express train today, and I better make sure that it goes well. If it does, then Sir Topham Hatt will hear about it, and he'll be pleased with me after such a long time. Yes, that can work.
When Gordon coupled up to his express train, the passengers got into the coaches and waited for the train to start. But at the last minute, Gordon had to wait for one more passenger to get on board. He was getting very impatient.
Come on already. We can't wait all day.
And he blew his whistle very loud. Just then, one of the passengers climbed into one of the express coaches and closed the door.
Finally! Now let's make up for lost time.
Gordon started and was speeding along without any problems. But that didn't last long. When they were heading towards the hill, there was a loud bang under his head. A lot of the coal fell straight down onto the tracks, and now there was a big gap between his boiler and his cab.
Driver, fireman, what was that?
His fireman checked, and now there was a big hole in the middle of his firebox, and most of the coal was now gone.
You lost part of your fire. Most of the car now gone.
Well, that's just perfect. We were doing so well, too.
Just then, he started to feel weaker. Without his fire going, he couldn't go anywhere. The driver and the fireman had to think fast. Then, the driver came up with an idea.
See if you can find a big lump of coal. It might fit into the hole.
So the fireman searched in Gordon's tender to see if he could find one, and thankfully, he did.
I found one. Why not this lucky fit?
Thankfully, it did, as poor Gordon was about to start going up the hill.
Alright, Gordon. We just set a fresh fire for you, and I set the controls for steam. So it's all up to you now.
Gordon was going up the hill. It was difficult for him to do, but he kept on going and shut his eyes.
I must do it. I must do it.
He was just halfway up the hill, but he didn't know that, so he continued to keep his eyes shut and kept going towards the top of the hill.
I know I can. I know I can.
At last, he made it to the other side of the hill and went down the slope. He opened his eyes and was surprised that he didn't.
Well done, Gordon. We'll stop you and call for help.
So they came to a stop. His driver called for help. And his crew had told the passengers that help was on the way. A few minutes later, Boko arrived to help get Gordon to the next station. Gordon was surprised because standing on the platform stood Sir Topham Hatt. But instead of being mad at him again, he was actually very happy.
Thank you, Boko, and thank you, Gordon, for being a really useful engine after going over the hill with a big hole in your firebox. Boko will take you to the works so they can fix that hole, and a different engine can take your express train.
Just then, a guard's whistle blew.
Oh, that's my ride. Talk to you later.
He climbed into a coach and the train carrying him left. Gordon was very pleased to hear about what he said, but he was a bit unsure of what was happening to him.
One day at the station, Gordon arrived to pick up some passengers. But when he got there, the whole platform was more crowded than ever. He was surprised to see that.
Whoa! What is all this about?
I believe it's a rail tour. Most of those passengers are tourists from different places. They're probably taking the railcar twins for the tour.
Just then, the station master walked up to them.
The real reason why this platform is crowded is because their train is derailed. Do you think you can take them instead since you're right here?
Well, we need permission from Sir Topham Hatt to do it.
Oh, don't worry. I already spoke to him, and he said yes.
Well, okay. I guess we can do it. Are you up for it, Gordon?
Absolutely. We'll help them to go to where they need to be.
All the passengers climbed into Gordon's coaches and he puffed away from the station. Meanwhile, the railcar twins were stuck at the viaduct. They were waiting for an engine to help them. Philippa, or Pip as she prefers, was overheated and couldn't move any further. Emma, her twin sister, was still running just fine and didn't mind doing all the work, but she couldn't carry the express and her sister at the same time. So they were stuck. James was on his way back to the docks with his load, when all of a sudden he was sent into some buffers. He didn't know what was going on until the signalman came to talk to him.
There is a delay at the viaduct. The railcar twins had come to a stop and can't move at all. They need help to get them to the works.
Wow, sounds like a lot of work. I need to take these freight cars to the docks first, and then I can help them.
Well, the viaduct is right ahead of you, so you might have to pull both your load and them at the same time.
But it might break my safety valve, and that'll be too heavy.
I'm sorry, but you have no other choice.
James was not happy at what he had to do, but if he wanted to be a really useful engine, he'll have to do as what he's told. So he went to the viaduct and saw the twins sitting there.
Why, hello, ladies. I heard you need help to get out of here and get to the station. No fear, I'll help you.
You? But you're already busy with that load you're pulling.
Don't worry about it. It won't slow me down. Now let's get you hooked up.
Emma was coupled up to the back of James's load and they set off to the works first. Surprisingly, it was easier than before. The twins seemed to be a lot lighter. Because of that, they made it to the works without any problems.
Phew! Thank you very much, James. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Oh, no problem. If you want to be at the sheds with me and some others, be welcome to. There might be room for you two.
I think we will tonight, after Pip gets fixed.
Splendid. See you there.
And he puffed away with his load to the docks. That night, the twins did come to the sheds, and there was an open shed for them to stay in for the night. The engines were talking to them and asking questions. James was glad that Gordon wasn't there that night. He knew that Gordon would be jealous once again and would complain about it. Gordon decided to sleep at the yards for the night. He wasn't in the mood to sleep at the sheds with some other engines. When the next morning arrived, Sir Topham noticed Gordon was there and was waking up, so he decided to apologise to him.
Gordon, I want to say I'm sorry for giving you a serious rough time lately. I should have been more worried about you and the smoke more than my suit, and we should have checked the icy rails before anyone used it.
Apology accepted, sir. No harm done.
Well, that's good. Now I want you to meet the rail car twins at the docks. You haven't met them yet, and I'm sure they would like to meet you.
Gordon agreed and went on to the docks. When he got there, he could see Douglas talking to them, and they noticed Gordon.
Hey, Gordon! I heard you haven't even met the rail cars twins yet. Well, here they are. Meet Emma and Pip.
Hello. It's an honor meeting you two at last.
Indeed, Gordon. We heard many stories about you, like when you fell into a ditch, and when you crashed through the giant wall, or taking a tumble through a farm, or slipping on ice.
Okay, you heard stories of me having a rough life. I get it.
You know, you're really funny, Gordon. I don't think any other engine has that many wrecks as you do, even more than Percy does.
It should be a good thing that you're not the one who had to help them travel back to the mainland, but instead it's me.
But then Douglas got the news that it was time to go.
Sorry, Gordon. Maybe next time. Now come on, girls. We don't want to be late.
Goodbye, Gordon. We'll talk more next time we arrive.
Yeah, that would be nice.
He watched the three engines puffing away to those in the main line. After that, he started spending the rest of the day pulling passengers around the island. He was more excited to see the rail car twins the next time they arrived on the island, but he knows that he'll have to wait for his chance to talk to them and become friends with them.